This episode is powered by Anivia Pickleball. Based in the heart of Vancouver, BC, whether you're new to the game or a seasoned vet, they have the paddle for you. I myself am currently using their Voltex Gen 3 Pro, which comes in both mid and lightweight. A big thank you for the team at Anivia for taking a chance on me in this podcast. And for listeners of the podcast, if you enter AGORMAN15 at checkout, you get 15% off. Check out Anivia.com now. That's AGORMAN 15 at checkout. On with the show. Welcome back, everyone. How's it going, Victor? You just came back from San Antonio?
Oh yeah, it was coming from hot to back into cold, like almost winter-like weather.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't doubt it, especially with San Antonio's weather lately. So before we get into all of our CPA CNPL stuff, we have some local indoor pickleball courts opening up in Edmonton. Victor, I'll let you tackle that. Let's get right into it.
Oh yeah, so let's start. So we got two already. We knew for a long time they'll be opening, but now we got some more in-depth news how they're doing. So I will start with the EPC, which is the Edmonton Pickleball Club, or formerly known as the EVP. So basically, there's still aiming at opening on the 28th of June. That will be their grand opening. They will say they're saying please register on online using the court reserve, so they know how many people coming in, so they'll be able to reserve some probably some food, some prizes. Sean Eagle is going to be performing some live music at during the night. So it'll be fun. So for people who doesn't know, all the pros from the EVP will be moving to the EPC, or they call that the EVP West, basically. So Sean Eagle will be the pro. Mike Hamilton also will be the pro over there. The address will be the 11420 170th Street Northwest. So basically pretty close to the West Edmonton Mall in that area. They do another special also during the time. They do, if you register for like a sneak peek during the month, beginning of month of June, they will give you 15% off for the annual membership, I believe. So so now they're not doing tickets anymore. Like you used to be like there's 10, you can buy 10 tickets, 100 tickets, something like that. They're now switching back to a membership base, which kind of like the norm for all the pickleball clubs now. So how it works is there is like how many? 5 tier. First tier is like you don't pay anything, but every time you're gonna have to play, it's gonna cost you $8 to $9 per hour, and you can only book 7 days in advance. Then if you move to if you pay $15 a month or $165 a year, now that hourly rate dropped to $6 to $7, which, and on top of that you can book 10 days in advance, and and also you can use the Calgary facility on top of that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, there you go.
So it's kind of like a deal, which is, I feel that's the best deal from all the others. So I'll move on. You have you can pay $60 a month, which is $660 per year. Now drops the hourly wage to $5.50, and then you can play even higher at $115 a month, which costs you $1,210 per year. That drops to $5 an hour. And you have an even higher rate, which does not make any sense anymore, like $150 a month, which is $1,650 a year. It will drop the hourly rate to $450. But I was like, well, if you're paying this money, I better just build my own court.
Yeah, or you better get some like discounts or something on like tournaments, or like
in-house specials or something like that. Like maybe
No,
that.
you will get a good amount. There's like league play and stuff like that. You have some percentage from all of those, like 20%, something like that, if not
Yeah.
mistaken. But still, you're like paying 1,650. That's a lot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's that's
That's
like that's
insane.
more than me and Irene combined for our club play for Peace River.
Oh yeah, that's for
Way
sure.
that's like way more, like double almost.
So I will say the majority of people will probably pay that $15 a month or $165 a month, which a year, sorry. That's how I would say that's the best deal, because all of the others, I was like, there's no way I will pay that much of a money to play pickleball, because the others is like almost like tennis rate membership. So. Right. So what else they will have new? They're saying, well, they already have some sort of regular league and ladder league already running, but now they're gonna do also the MLP style league, which in Calgary what they're doing right now. They're also gonna do a duper round robin, which they're doing in the West, and now they also announced there will be one tournament per month on the third week of the month.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the Calgary Center does now too. My biggest gripe with that is that they don't make them sanctioned.
Yeah, that's
So that's that. Like if you're in Edmonton, like if you live there, then yeah, that's awesome to go play that, because then you're getting tournament experience. But for someone like me, who it's a 5.5 hour drive, it's not like if it's not going to affect my ranking, like unless they're putting duper ranks into it. Like if it's going to affect my duper ranking, then sure, it's cool. But if it's not going to affect my Canadian ranking, a lot of times I'll pass tournaments by, because like I'm already driving a certain amount. I usually have to get a hotel. I have to at least have a chance of affecting my ranking, because now that I'm trying to push myself up, like I'm trying to push myself up into the mixed doubles 4.5. At this point, I'm trying to get my men's up into the 4.0. Trying to
Yeah.
get, I'm not doing singles as much this year, but I'm trying to get the singles at least up to like a 3.5 or a high 3.5 or a 4.0 by the end of the year type of thing. So it's one
Yeah,
of those ones
totally
where
agree.
if it's not sanctioned, I probably wouldn't do it unless I'm already going to be in town.
Yeah, I totally agree, because like for me, same thing. I'm not playing. I play maybe one or two tournaments that's non-sanctioned, depending on how my friends is going on. But other than that, there's no incentive for me to play any non-sanctioned tournament. Especially there's no ref and anything. Like, then what's the point? I'm like this. There's no incentive, basically.
Yeah, and especially at our level now, where we're in that 4.0, 4.5 category, you need reps for that. But especially at least at bare minimum for medal matches, because like as much as we'd like to say that everyone plays fair, we do know a few people who are a little iffy with their line calls, and we know when we play them in sanctioned tournaments, a lot of times we're probably going to beat them. Whereas when it's no refs at the tournament, it's a lot closer of a match, and sometimes we lose. So it's one of those ones now where once you're in the 4.0, 4.5 categories and up, you're playing to win. It's not just playing to have fun and socialize. So
Oh yeah. Well, it's just not our level. We'll talk a little bit there during that some of the problems at the PPA Atlanta in the pro scene. There is some very sketchy things going on. We'll talk more about that. Don't worry. So that's for the EPC. So very excited to have I think 18 or 19 courses going to be there. So very excited to have that much a big facility in there. So definitely will help Edmonton growing the sports. And then you have the YEG pickleball. That's very close to my house. Basically, it's on the northwest of the town. They will have 7 courts, not as big a facility as the EPC, but what they're striving to have is they will at least try to have a center court in that area, which like with benches that you can actually watch. So which is good. I will say that will. Like something for the CNPL, that's probably a pretty good spot to be, just 7 courts and then 1 championship court. You don't need a big facility. Here we go. That's probably perfect. Right now they're running, we call a founders and membership. So what it is you pay $200 a year. The hourly rate will be $5.05. You have 20 days to book in advance, which is pretty good. You could use also court cameras. So that's something that EPC does not offer. And they also gonna give you 8 weeks of duper drill if Ali if you know her, she's from the Turco team. And then they give you also a pickleball shirt. For me, that's probably a big deal breaker compared to the EPC.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the court cams, like, because you and me, we both record a lot of our matches. One for, just our own personal, like looking at our game. But then I also post my stuff on the YouTube channel. So it's like, if I can set up my camera, but then if I have access to their cameras and get like 3 or 4 different angles as well, like there's highlight reel like you play one night, you might have like 6 months worth of highlight material, right? So it's just
you always have some stuff going on.
Yeah, right. So like, and actually, that funny brings me up a funny point. I was playing in our club last on Wednesday, and I did an Ernie. The guy popped it back up, and I was still standing out of bounds on the side. It came right back to me, and I slammed it back down. And I'm like, of course, my camera's not running right now. I was like, how often do I pick that play again, right? So. But no, yeah, like when I saw that posted on their Instagram page, I was like, oh man, I want to go there and just to try out the camera stuff aside from playing on really good courts. So
it'll be fun. So we have two new facility that is opening. Obviously, there's the other ones called the Patel Room, if I'm not mistaken, in the south, in close to Mondu. So that will be the third spot that will be opening in the summer. So I'm really excited. So we have so much more new course going on, and obviously I might continue to play at the hub, the pickleball hub, but the one at the north end really needs some sort of resurfacing, especially now we have those 2 new courts coming in that people will be wanting like a better playing surface than trying like to play at the same place that is not as good for your feet anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, and it wouldn't take too much because of the type of surface that it is, because you're mimicking outdoor courts. It wouldn't take too much to go in and just do a new layer down. Honestly, you probably wouldn't even have to really dig anything up. You'd like just put some like filler down and then just lay a whole new coat down, and then you're pretty much good to go. Just going with what the surface is. So yeah, so and with the newer hub doing so well, I don't see there being an issue with him having to, like, if he shuts it down for say a week. Like if you could shut that down and get all that done within a week.
Well, he can technically shut it down during summer, right? Almost like then there's not as much people playing in the summer anyway, so you can shut it down for the summer. People go to the South Hub, and then when they reopen, here we go.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So Victor, what did you do in San Antonio aside from buy way too many paddles that you can use?
Well, I'm thinking my next tournament I'll probably need like a freaking rolling cart, right? Just to bring it into the into the court, and then have to ref check all the 20 paddles I have just to piss them off.
Yeah, you're gonna have like a hockey bag, one of those roller hockey bags behind you, and it's just all gonna be paddles, weigh like 105 pounds type of thing.
Yeah, probably. Anyway. Let's not divert about. So my trip to San Antonio is for my dental conference. I have some dental continuing education I need to take, so that's why I went there. And at the same time, I was able to do some pickleball because there is pickleball courts fairly close to my hotel, and it's called the Fairchild Park. They have actually 18 pickleball courts in there, and they're all lighted, so you can play all night long if you want to. They're not very close to any houses. It's actually next to a cemetery, so I guess you can play all night long. No one's gonna get water.
Yeah, when the neighbors are dead, they're not going to complain about the noise.
Exactly, or just invite them to play at night. Just fine.
Yeah, exactly right.
Right, no worries. Right. Anyway, so it was good, and every time I went there to play 2 times. Okay, I went there around 7 o'clock. The place was freaking packed. Like I was waiting. I have to wait a good like 10-20 minutes in order to play every game because there's so many people. And there is a lot of good players over there. So, and most of the people that was playing are younger people, like ages B and U. We're not talking about like if we go to like some of the courts here in Alberta. Unfortunately, they're dominated by the seniors. But over there, there's like the 20 people, 20 people, maybe some 30, 40 max. you don't see any people more ages of 50 playing. So and they oh man, they're like it's totally different story. You can see that you in the States the pickleball really picked up, and the young people really get in. Those people are no joke, basically. Basically they're doing all open play. They divided like around I think six to eight court, the different place, a different location. People kind of knew which place people have is playing a higher level than compared to the others. So I was able to find some higher level play over there. People are pretty chill. You put your paddle, they'll play with you, and then you just rotate when they're done. And even I play until 10 o'clock, and still half of the court is still being played. So like, holy shit, what's going on? People doesn't need to sleep or something.
Yeah.
and anyway, so it was good. However, weather super hot, super humid, and on top of that, they're playing with Franklin X40. I was like, oh my god, that freaking ball becomes smooshy when you're doing at that temperature. So I was like, thank God I got my paddle tech TKO, because I was like, I could plow through that ball no problem. And anyway, so it was interesting experience. Another place I went, I did not play, I just visit. Have you heard about the chain Chicken in Pickle?
I have, yes.
So yeah, so
we need to get a few of those up here in Canada.
Oh yeah, definitely, because I really like their concept. So basically, San Antonio had one Chicken and Pickle open, I think last year. What it is actually a chain. They have a multiple different those places in America. What it is there is some pickleball courts over there. There is some big open seating areas. There is a restaurant that's in there incorporated. So the one that is in San Antonio, they have 8 indoor courts. They're all with air conditioning. There's one cover court that's kind of their championship court, and then they have 5 more outdoor courts that you can use. They have a very big open areas, sitting areas. So there's even like a music stage that's set up over there. So you can do some picnic. You can sit. You can chill, and then you have a large indoor restaurant with like a kind of almost like a conference like sitting areas. So basically they really like. It's really well built, like for basically like you can do your sport bar, you can do anything. Like even though you're not playing pickleball, you can go there and just chill or watch people playing pickleball. So it's really well designed. I thought that actually it was something that the hub, the North Hub in St. Albert, that was planning to do something like that, but they never ever built the restaurant side, unfortunately. But it was having very good potential, because oh man, that place was packed. Obviously it was a Friday night too, but at the same time it was like it was tough to find a parking space over there, because there's so many people that just go in there and chill.
No, absolutely. And then the fact that if you can turn it not just into like pickleball games, but then into a social setting. And then even if you have some like local high level players, and you can do like kind of like what they do with what is it, the one in Arizona where they have like the team play?
Oh, at the Arizona Pickleball League at the Orchard.
Yeah, at the Orchard. Yeah. So if you did something like that and say like, hey, every second Friday night we're gonna have the pros come in and they'll put on a match on that championship court. Come have food at the restaurant. Come watch some high level pickleball. Like it just opens up the opportunity for that, right? So like,
oh yeah,
you turn into a social event with like the restaurant and stuff. You get some basically it's basically live sports to watch while you eat. So like it's especially in a place like San Antonio where it's almost constantly good weather. Like it's a win-win situation, and the fact that they have AC there as well, like it's like for something here in Canada, you need to do it as an indoor facility, but still like. If you could like if the YEG pulled something like that off where they had the restaurant in there at that, and then you could dine right beside that championship court, like I would just like be calling up the local pros. Hey, come on like Friday, and we'll put on some pro matches for people to watch and stuff like that. And then you can charge like an extra $10 a head for people to come to the bar or whatever it is, right? So it's just one of those things where it's just like it's a win-win.
And you can promote the sport and get a lot of people like the youngster involved and everything, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So I really like the concept how they did it. So no, so it was worthwhile for me to go over there.
Nice. And then there's some league play going on in St. Albert now, you said?
Oh yeah, so they because this year in St. Albert we have quite a bunch of people now just move up to the 4-0. Last year they have the league play. It was well received, but at the same time a lot of people are saying, well, the level of play was a little bit sketchy because sometimes you have a higher 4-0 play with the lower 4-0, and they're like, okay, how am I supposed to play with them? So this year they actually separate the league being a little bit like the MLP. There's a Premier League and then there's a Challenger League. So to make the play a little bit more level, a little bit more consistent, and people being able to play a little bit I guess closer level. So I got lucky. I got drafted to the Premier League. So how it works, there's 6 Premier League and 6 Challenger League. I put 8, but there's actually 6 Challenger League. In the Premier League, we have 10 people. I think we have maybe 3 or 4 females in there, but it's mostly men's. In the Challenger League, they have 14 to 15 players. So about, I would say, 6 female also in their league. How it works, every Challenger League is affiliated with the Premier League. So in case, because how we play is we play every other weeks. 1 week's going to be the Premier League's playing, 1 week's going to be the Challenger League playing. And if there's someone that cannot play in the Premier League, they will pick someone from the Challenger League from that affiliated team that is assigned to us. We have around 35 to 36 games that we're going to play at that night. So it's going to be a combination between men's, women's, and mixed doubles that we'll be playing. And at the end, with the win loss, and that will be able to kind of calculate who's going to be number 1 seed during this September playoff.
Nice.
And we have some pretty good player playing too. We have in the Premier League Sean Sonigo, Brittany Brown also playing. What else? Gloria Whips also playing with us. We have Sean McCarran playing with us. Saji also playing. Dewey. So those are pretty high level 5-0 player playing with us. So which is exciting.
Oh, it's good too, and the fact that you get they get those high level matches just keeps everyone playing at a good level, and then not just getting stuck in some open play. Because I find the biggest problem with open play right now is that you're starting to see a lot of high level players just kind of avoiding local play or open play because they want some good games. Like they don't have a problem down saying playing one kind of mixed game with a couple of like 3-5s and 4-0s and stuff like that, but they want good games. Like they spent money to show up as well, right? So
yeah,
like I noticed in Grand Prairie that's a big problem right now. Like a lot of the like high level 4-0, 4-5 players aren't even part of the club anymore. They just go do their own thing at private courts, right? So
yeah,
like at least with our club here in Peace River, we have regulated play at the club level. So it's like, hey, 4-0s and like some like borderline 3-5 4-0s play together. You have the 3-0 3-5 kind of division that plays together, that like which is the ones who want to kind of go to tournaments. Then you have like the 3-0 to 3-5 kind of just I want to play kind of just rec. And then like you can move up as you get better and stuff like that. Basically, you challenge to get into the next group. Like that way, it's like I'm not going to club to play for 2 hours, and then all of a sudden I'm playing someone 6 times who's brand new to playing.
Yeah, and sometimes open play is weird because like I have that problem when I was in San Antonio. At first, those players didn't know about me, so they're trying to target me, but I was blocking everything. I was hitting them back, and as soon as they knew about that, when I was playing again, like second or third time against them, I'm not having any ball on me. Like they're just dinking and pushing all every ball to my partner because they knew attacking me wasn't a good idea. So and I'm getting maybe just 20% of the ball. So I was like, why am I playing if I'm just getting 20% of the ball?
Yeah, exactly right. And I find the same thing. Like if I sometimes play club and I'm playing with say 3-3-5s. And we try to in the club we try to preface this at saying, hey, you're not playing tournament style. You're trying to yes, you're practicing shots and you want good rallies going, but you're not trying to isolate people. Oh, and because the whole like it's different if we say, okay, for this next hour, guys, we're playing tournament style. So, it's everyone for themselves. If you think you can isolate one player and pick on them, go nuts. But most of the time we say, no, don't do that. Like, and if anything, we're telling the lower level players, no, hit to the stronger player.
Yeah, you want practice.
Yeah, that's what's going to make you. No, but aside from the stronger playing getting practice, that's going to make you better because the stronger player is not going to let you get away with shots that you can get away with with lower level players, right? So I find it's weird because part of me is like, no, I want to kind of give back because like someone had to do that for me when I first started, and I want to help out some newer players, but at the same time, like, I don't want to be handicapped by not being able to go all out when I play someone who's lower all the time because I'm like I can win the point in like 2 shots because half the people, especially in our club in Peace River, where a majority of the people are still in there like they're 55 plus, right? If I drive the ball, I'm getting a self shake and bake 90% of the time. Like half of them can't handle my speed up, let alone someone like you who's got a way stronger drive than me, right? Like we have like four or five players who are like 4.0 plus who go to tournaments right now. And so it's kind of like we try to play together as much as possible. We'll pull up 1 or 2, 3, 5 players every now and then for numbers and trying to get them better as well. But we tell them it's like, you better not be like, if it's me and a 3-5 versus another 4.0 plus player and a 3-5, we tell the 3-5ers, you better not just be hitting to each other the whole time and avoiding it because that defeats the purpose of you coming up and playing at the higher level. So it's one of those things where it's like it's hard to it's like open play, yeah, it's great for social, but for me it's almost like you almost want say like and I found this when I went to the Calgary pickleball club the one time when I went down there. I was down there for a convention or like an owners meeting for Subway. I went to the open play, but then they had this court was for what you'd call advanced, this court was for intermediate, this court was for beginner. So you would take that color and you'd write your name on that court that you were advanced, right? Now, it turned out while I was there, I was clearly the highest rated player there, like not even close. Like the closest person to me maybe was 3.5. And someone said, after the first game I played, they're like, oh, we actually have a real advanced person here this time. And like it was like a 4-hour thing. So I still had lots of fun and still like played lots of games. But like I was clearly the only 4+ player there, and everyone else was like a 3.0, 3.5 player. But but at least they weren't avoiding me. But like every now and then, like you said, you'll go to a thing and then they'll start avoiding you if they know that they can't get shots on you. It's like, no, you want to keep hitting to me because I'm going to make you better by showing you that you can't get away with this shot that you can get away with at a 3.0 level.
Definitely, I totally agree. So no, so it's gonna be interesting. I wasn't able to play the first day of the league play because I was sick, but weather is now getting better, and I'm getting better, so hopefully I'll be able to start playing and then see how it goes this time.
Just means I'm gonna have to do more drilling if you get to play with Stephanie Brown and Gloria all the time. I'm like, oh crap.
I'm not playing mix, so you'll be fine in that.
Yeah, but you're still playing against like Dewey and Sanjay and Sean, so I'm just like that's higher level than anyone I got.
It's okay. I just have Lester. You can target Lester, right? Right. Well, but Lester is in the league too. He's in the Premier League, so be careful.
Yeah. Oh no, he should be. Yeah, like so the St. Albert crew has got some very, very good players. Plus, you guys got to have all those young players coming up too.
So it's Ben's on my team, so it'll be fun, and it'll be good.
Is what everyone came here for, especially for this one with so we'll start quickly with the CPA. They had 2 more signings. They signed Dalbeer Bandel, so also another CNPL vet. He's on the Toronto Smash this year, so no surprise there. And then they also signed Amanda Rosati. She's she's also in the CNPL. This year will be her first year in the CNPL. But she was one of those players who did really well at the qualifiers, and she was one of the top female picks. I think she went, if I recall correctly, she went in within the top 10 in the CNPL. And then Dalbeer was a re-signed player by the Toronto Smash. So two more very good pros. Looking forward to for the first CPA tournament coming up in June. And then they CPA also did I guess it's 3, but it's kind of 3, but 2 are within 1. So they signed a partnership with World Pickleball Ratings. Now this is powered by the United Pickleball in the States. United Pickleball is like the they're the guys who do the courts for the PPA. But they also they've just started this World Pickleball ranking spot where the whole point of this is to get pros ranked, where the ranking is consistent worldwide, so they can do like a Pickleball World Cup. They already have stuff done in Pickleball Asia, and I know they're planning on doing like a Pickleball World Series. So the fact that this is hooked up with the CPA, so our Canadian players will already get their rankings through that, and then they'll have a chance to represent Canada on the world stage with that partnership. So that's super exciting. The other big announcement that they did is there is now Fantasy Pickleball. So for those of you who are into fantasy NBA, fantasy football, fantasy NHL, they now have pickleball for it. The partnership is with Fans Play Global. I've already downloaded the app. I did make a team right away. Also on this app, there's going to be paddle, there's going to be badminton, there's going to be tennis. So it's going to be all kind of a racket sports fantasy app. The first CNPL, the opening week coming this weekend is already on there. Now, when I first went on, I was the first person to get in, and I made a team right away. Now, the way you create a team on this, and I'm going to actually, I'll do a recording on my phone of the step-by-step to pick players, but you have basically 100 points, and you pick 2 women, 2 men. Each player is worth a specific amount of points. So, for example, Kim Layton is worth 40 points. Christina Chin is worth 30 points. Nathan Choi is worth 30 points, and so on and so forth. So you pick 4 players. You only have 100 points to work with. Now, when I picked my team first, they hadn't finished, or they clearly hadn't ranked a few players properly, because I managed to get on this team. I had Christina Chin, Jessica Quanamoto, Nathan Choi, and Ernesto. If you look at that team now, that team technically is like a 130-point team. So I know we put cheater. I know on the Instagram post we were going to say an Andrew versus Victor thing. So I'm going to create a new profile and create a new team under the new proper parameters, so that way I don't screw Victor over with this, because I don't think he's going to be able to beat that team, because that's all starters. So with the 100-point system and with the proper rankings for the players, now you're literally picking 3 starters and probably a reserve player. So you kind of have to take a guess of which reserve player you think has the best chance of getting in, whether it's one of the females, one of the males. The way the scoring system works, so the players get points throughout the match. So an unforced error, -2 points. You score a winner or win a hand battle, that's +2 points. Right? So the player's score will go up and down, and then the Fans Play app will have, at the end of the tournament, they'll actually show you which pro player had the best scoring system, and then they'll also have the ranking of people who created their custom team with it as well. So you get some bragging rights and stuff. So if you're watching this before the tournament has started, get on there and do it and see if you can beat me in Victor's teams. And then let us know on Instagram, and then we'll give you a shout out for sure. But it's really fun. I play fantasy basketball with my college buddies all the time. So, and it's just one of those things to kind of keep us connected. So the fact that we have this already for pickleball and we're only in year 2 of like pro stuff in Canada. I'm super excited for it. And I can't wait to see how it goes for the weekend. It's also going to get you more invested because you're going to be cheering for the players that you picked on your fantasy team, and you're also going to be growing if they make a couple mistakes, type of thing, because it is minus points for you. So,
Oh yeah,
I'm super excited about that.
I'm in already. That works.
Perfect.
So, well, we'll try to make it
Yeah,
make it happen. So maybe I'll beat Andrew, but I'm
yeah,
definitely not gonna be his number 1 team.
no, yeah, yeah. But and I'm also going to put the stipulation for you and me, Victor. We can't pick the same players.
Okay,
Because
sure.
they don't have it yet where you can like do your own personal league and do like snake drafts and stuff like that. It's basically just kind of picking like think the CBC like NHL stuff for playoffs where you just pick players, but everybody can pick.
Mhm.
If everyone wanted to,
Yeah.
they could all pick like Connor McDavid type of thing. So I'll see what you pick because and just name your team Victor and I'll click on it, or text me who you pick and then I'll just make sure I pick different
Yeah,
people.
I can screenshot it to you.
Yeah. But yeah,
Yeah,
so that's awesome.
should we put something on the line or something like that, just to make it more interesting?
What do you want to put on the line?
I don't know, maybe, $5 or $10 or something like that.
Oh yeah, we can
Or
totally do that. Yeah, I'm totally down for that. Yeah, yeah, let's say $10. We'll start with that for now, and then we'll leave it up to our listeners if they want to throw in some type of like silly punishment. I don't know, like ice water on the head or some silly something like that. But we can also leave that up to the listeners.
or maybe letting Andrew have body back me or something like that
Yeah,
as a punishment. Or
yeah, and
whatever.
we will be playing each other at least once or twice this year. So, um. All right, so that's for, and then I also missed another one for the CPA. The Durham Distillery was named a major sponsor of the CPA. They're a brewing company in Ontario, so just another big name. I wouldn't be surprised if you're going to the events there if they're going to have some good, probably craft beer on sale for you to try. Then if we jump over to the proper CNPL stuff, of course we have the first event coming up this weekend. So really excited for that. And they also, the West Coast Wolverines just announced that Mike Hamilton, who we just mentioned in the grand opening for the EPC, he's now the head coach of the
Nice.
Wolverines. So big congrats to Mike for that. I've done a few of his clinics with him. Very, very, very knowledgeable player, very, very good player. So and that'll take some of the pressure off like Joelle and Haddo with, especially with the newer females they have on the team, with the inexperience. Mike will be able to come in and kind of take the reins with that. So super excited for that. And we do have the official dates for the because I know we announced the official date for the Western splits last podcast, but now the Central split is going to also got announced. It's going to be in Guelph, and that's going to be on July 6th and 7th. And just to recap, the Western split's going to be in Calgary at the Calgary Pickleball Center, and that's going to be August 18th to 19th. And then they haven't announced the official date for the championship weekend, but I got a feeling that's going to be coming up pretty quick. I think they're still trying to secure a spot. I think it's going to be in Western Canada though, because they've got Central and Eastern split all in Ontario, and then they have the Western split in Calgary. So if they're trying to balance it out, I wouldn't be surprised if championship weekend would be somewhere on the West Coast this year, seeing how they had it on the East Coast last year. So,
yeah, more to be seen.
Yeah, and then also another sponsorship signing or a re-signing for the CNPL. They re-signed with Onyx as the official ball, so they'll be using the Onyx Durafast again this year.
Nice.
So yeah, so super excited for all the CNPL stuff and the CPA stuff. It's not quite back-to-back weekends, but it's pretty close. So we got the CNPL this weekend, and then the June 5th, 6th, 7th, all the way to the 9th weekend. That's the first CPA. So
CPA, yep.
weekends are going to be busy for watching. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We got some controversy for, or I guess Paddlegate again.
Yeah, I call that Paddlegate 3.0. Anyway.
So what's going on with Joola, Victor?
Oh yeah, so basically on the 16th of May, well, I was like on a on a course. Okay, I was in a dental course in San Antonio, and it was like my Instagram, Reddit, and the Discord was like flashing like freaking crazy. I was like, what is going on? Okay, let's take a look. And then people say, oh, all Gen 3 Joola has been delisted from the USAP paddle approved list. They're like, I was like, what? Is it a joke or something like that? I was like, okay, let me check. Go check on the list. Yeah, they're all gone. Just basically just all gone. So you're like, okay, what the heck is going on? So a lot of people already know that the Gen 3 Joola, so the new what was those? The new Perseus, the new Scorpius, and the new Magnus, with the rainbow color shade. They're hitting very, very hard. A lot of people are saying, oh man, this is like closer to illegal speed. It's going so hard, like people is gonna get hurt and stuff like that. So suddenly that happened, and then just right after that happened, we'll talk about it. Also, we'll actually combine it. PPA and MLP, which is we call the United Pickleball Association, say, oh, we're gonna create our own regulatory body. It's called the UPA, so the UPA of America. So we're gonna test our equipment on our own. We're gonna do our approval on our own. I was like, okay, what the hell? Like, that is like a really sketchy timing. Like when you delisted Joola, and at the same time, MLP and PPA say, I don't care what USAP is telling me. We're doing our own thing. Wow, what is going on right here, right? So we also know like Joola has the Joola paddle has also two other problems. So the new core crushing, right? So what's the new core crushing is basically because they put so much foam into the paddle, so sometimes the glue that's kind of sticking between the honeycomb and the foam sometimes get unstick, and then your foam will then expand, cause more extrusion from the core. Basically, what happened is instead of your ball hitting the honeycomb core, now you're hitting the foam. So basically, it's now generating so much more power. It becomes like that trampoline effect, unfortunately. So that ball like fly like crazy at you. And the other problem is their inconsistency during the grid. I'm sure a lot of people have seen on Instagram. What happens is like that paddle, you can basically stick it on your shirt. It's not moving. You move around.
I did see a couple of TikToks with that. Yeah, the one side was fine, and then he flipped it over and did the other side, and it stuck to his shirt. Yeah, I saw that.
So bizarre. So you're like, okay, there's so many like inconsistencies, so many like quality control going on. So that's probably people were speculating that was the reason. And then Joola came with the statement saying, "Oh no, don't worry about it. This is just an administrative error." So because what happened is in November we gave them the alpha to test, and it was passed. And then, however, we didn't give them the right paddle, which is the new rainbow colors frame of those paddle to USAP to approve. So that's why they delisted. I was like, wait a minute, that's a little bit shady. Why don't you like usually give the same paddles to USAP to get it passed? And then afterward, USAP came back and then make an official statement saying, "Oh, so we delisted because the company came to us to about it." It's like, wait a minute, this don't make sense. Joola say that you delisted, and then USB say no because Joola came back to them to tell us. I was like, wait a minute, that is so freaking shady. What is going on? Anyway, so according to Joola, those paddle will be pretty much relisted on the approved list very soon, probably in a week or two as that standpoint. But that was like a big controversy right now. For people that was playing, because that was during a tournament, the PPA Atlanta, and people was like, all panicking. Oh man, I cannot use that paddle. Wait a minute, because now PPA is part of the UPA, and UPA doesn't give a crap about USAP. So if you look at Ben Johns and Bright and all those people that are sponsored by Joola, they're still playing with the same paddle.
Yeah, so that it seems like that was created almost to save face. Well, not that it really saved face, but to save the face of all their high level pro players. You'd think if they had their own regulatory system, you'd think if anything they would be more stingy than what the USA pickleball would be, because that was the complaint of pro players before, was like, hey, there's not enough proper ways to test these things, and so people are using these hot paddles during pro level tournaments, and we're at a point right now where the pro level should be better than that. So you think if anything, if they were making their own governing body, it would be, if anything, harder for a paddle to pass.
Oh no, it's the opposite.
Then it would be, but yeah, but it's gone in the reverse because they want to keep their their money makers happy. So
yeah, well, just to make matter worse, okay, if you look at that new regular body that the UPA created, okay, so they have Jason Aspers as their first director. He's one of the creator of the kitchen social medias. If you know him, I did meet him at US Open last year. Pretty good guy. But so they have we call equipment manufacturer advisor board, and look at the companies in there: Franklin, Gearbox, Joola, Onyx, United Pickleball Paddle, which is Paddletech, and ProXR, Selkirk, Vulcan, and a certain guy named Brian Levine. How are you going to delist their paddle, right? There's no way you're going to delist their paddle if they're part of
if they're on the board. Yeah, exactly.
Like what? And then you have an equipment manufacturer advisory board: Ben Johns, Julie Johnson, Brian Levine, which is on the manufacturer advisory board, Altaf Merchant, Catherine Parendel, Lee Waters, Thomas Wilson. Okay, that's not helpful. I'm sorry, this is not helpful. The more you look at it, you're like, well, if Joola's gonna get a paddle out there, they're not gonna delist it. Ben John's gonna be advocating for it, right? So
yeah, same thing with Selkirk with Parento, and Tech with Leah Waters. Like, it's just, yeah, it's basically like they made this up basically. So it's like, oh, we don't have to wait for the USA approval type of thing now. We're just, yeah, it's a brand new paddle. Sure, you can use it. Go nuts.
Yeah. So and then it's a Pickleball Pro Labs, which is actually they are actually created when the whole carbon fiasco came out. So the Paddlegate 1.0 basically where it came out. So they are now the main kind of testing company for the UPA on it. I listened to some of the podcasts that people was telling. Like basically that UPA is either that you say you save face, and the other thing is to basically the other problem it's going to create is, okay, when I'm going to play in a tournament, do I need a paddle that's USAP approved and a UPAA approved? So what's going on, right? There's no uniform like system in anymore. Like like when you're playing tennis, I'm buying a tennis racket. That's tennis racket. I can use it at any freaking tournament. But now I have to worry. Oh, am I playing on a USA pickleball tournament that's following the USAP? And now I have to, or I'm playing in a tournament that I have to follow the UPA. So it's getting confusing.
Yeah, exactly.
And anyway, so that's the Paddlegate 3.0. So one more paddle that's actually got the, well, we don't know if it got delisted or actually that USAP hasn't actually put it on there. So it's the Paddletech TKO CX. So that's what's that paddle? That's the paddle that Christian Alshon that's using. He's actually using TKO -C. The CX is what's the difference? It's a longer handle paddle. Instead of a 5.3, it was a 5.7, and it had beats on the third and the 9 o'clock of the paddle. I have this paddle. I just bought it from in the States. Very good paddle. Hits very hard in anything. I reached out to Paddle Tech about it. They said it's actually an error from the USAP. They should be put this back fairly soon. And according to them, is still USAP approved. That you should be able to play any tournament on it. So that was kind of weird. It just happened at the same time during that Joola fiasco. So I don't think there's anything illegal from Paddle Tech anyway. So just keep that in mind if you're actually in the hunt of buying the new Paddle Tech paddle.
Right on.
So do you want to talk about my new paddles I got?
Yeah, well, we might as well just stay right on that. We'll go.
Okay, let's grab some of my new paddles right here. So one of the new paddles that Andrew hates is gonna be this one. I bought the oil paddle. That's a 5.3. That's the elongated version, so it's a 5.3 handle. I played yesterday with it. Basically, it is a very silent paddle. Like hit the ball, it's like you barely hear the sound, like pop, and you're like, what? I hit that ball, and then because I think just the core being like just a foam, something like that, it just hits super hard. So my opponents, when I draw, like I drive, right? I like to drive.
Yeah.
I drive up, then they're not even reacting to it. Like, whoa, shit, the ball came to me. So it was so weird to play, but. I guess you get used to it at the end of the speed and everything, but it's a very interesting paddle. I would say that will be a very good paddle for like a backyard. If you have a court in the backyard, so you're not gonna bother your neighbor. Spin of the paddle is pretty good too. So. I'll continue to play more with it, but it's definitely a good, interesting paddle. And the good thing is this paddle is actually approved, so you can use tournament play with that one. Obviously, I did bought some illegal paddle just in case. Right, I bought the original illegal paddle, so the Vice. So the Diadem Vice, we see if you're not sure, you see there's holes in there. The whole cord is an EVA foam, so basically hits super hard. Is it as hard as the oil? I would say they're a little bit harder than the oil, but same level of power from the Joola. So I did test out the Joola magnets at the same time. I felt it was just the same amount of power. So I basically can say the new Joola is basically almost EVA foam power. So if you're saying that your Joola is legal to play when they're gonna be reapproving, this paddle should be approved. Right? And at the same time, it is sounding also very close to the oil paddle. It has a very just talk sound, very silent. So that makes it very deceptive for people that's hitting those paddle. I got some more paddle just to messed up people with. Right, what the hell is that?
Oh, you got one of those. Okay, next time I see you, I want to at least take a couple swings with that.
All right, this is so weird. That bird paddle is just so weird. Like I played half a game. I wasn't able to get the whole game. I was like, I can't take it. I was like, I don't want my partner suffering because I'm playing with this paddle. So basically this paddle, you hold it like hold it like a gun or something like that. Basically, the biggest problem is this paddles, and when you hit, like you have to go almost like upward, so you're always popping up the ball. Basically, you can't really hit it with like your normal stroke on it. The hand battle with this paddle is very good. So when you're counter punching, very nice. But when you're dinking, that's not good. Like just that thing just pops right up. You're like giving a killer shot for your opponent at all times. So I would say it's good for rec play, but if you're playing tournament with that, you're just gonna get smoked.
Yeah, you're gonna have to like really practice just because it's completely different way to hold.
Oh yeah, it's so different. I was like, oh my god.
It for people who are just listening to audio. So the way the handle is held, yeah, like Victor said, you're almost holding it like the paddle's a gun. The best way I can describe the difference is between the North American way to hold a ping pong paddle and then the the original way that people hold the ping pong paddle, where it
Yep.
looks like the upside down. It's almost that different of a style of holding a paddle. Like I recommend jumping to the YouTube channel really quick just to see. Hold that up again, Victor.
Oh, sure. That's just
Just
hold that up again.
just to see
Like,
what this paddle looks like.
oh man, you're like,
Next time I see you, Victor, make sure you have that with you. I just want to take a couple swings with it because I don't know if I'd be able to. I wouldn't be able to do my switch hand play with that thing. I don't think
so
anyway.
weird.
Yeah, I don't think anyways. And I find I'm interested to see, like, when you swing, do you find that the paddle like turns back, like when you try to say do a power shot with it, or are you able to keep a firm grip and still do a full?
You can still do a pretty firm grip of it. It's just the problem is because when you swing upward, right? You do that upward motion, and this paddle, because it has so much flex, like you're basically popping the ball up instead of hitting it through. So I have this so that's why I was just having a little bit trouble here with it. Obviously, if I play all the time with it, probably I'll get used to it. But
it's basically like learning to play almost all over again, just because of how different.
Yeah, exactly. It's just super odd. One more paddle I got, nothing special from this one, is the 11/6/2024 Hirachi X. So this one's the full. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's the blue. We call it blue Kevlar because people like getting used to the ruby, which is the red Kevlar. So this is a blue Kevlar paddle. Nothing really special to be honest with it. I hit a couple shots. It's basically like a Vatic Pro flash. So nothing. It's like, okay, yeah, it's very control oriented. Maybe a little bit more poppy than the Vatic, but like nothing special. And it has a 6-inch handle, so it's good for two-handers. But other than that, I would say nothing exceptionally special. But the price is right. It's about $130 Canadian, so which is, I would say, pretty acceptable for a Kevlar paddle.
Not bad.
So, and then I have probably some upcoming paddles coming in soon. So I will have the Vatic Pro Omni, so which was gonna rival the power of the Joola Gen 3. I will have the bread and butter Shogun also coming in. So this one has we call it titanium and carbon fiber infused. A lot of people has good review on it because of the feel. Feels like a very distinct feel compared to other paddles. So good. We'll test that out too. I'll have also the Spark Tips Apollo. According to some of the people saying that grid is like Joola level grid. So basically you can just hang on to your shirt. Like both faces just hang on to your shirt. So you're like, okay, interesting to see how it goes. I will also have the Honolulu J7K, another Kevlar paddle. Apparently, this paddle is more elongated shape. I would say that's the only company right now is making a Kevlar as elongated shape. So that will be another interesting paddle to see. I was about to maybe order the 6.0 Willinator, but after I hear a couple of review, maybe not a best paddle for me, because I like, me, I like poppy paddle. I drive. I want the power. Some of the review that came out, unfortunately, the Willinator is more like a control oriented paddle more than a power paddle, even though it's a elongated paddle. So anyway, that's probably why that I like the Joola Gen 3, because I like the power. I just like to drive and everything. So
yeah, whereas me, I'm more of a control player. So
yeah. I wasn't able to bring the other paddle out. It was the Paddletech TKO CX. One of my friends just borrowed it to have a hit on it. That paddle was very good. I like the drive of that paddle. Still, a couple of shots I was still having a little bit difficulty. The reset and the overhead, for some reason, I keep missing them for some reason, because I felt that paddle was super light, and it was like even though the swing weight was supposed to be 120 and up, and every time I swing it, is like it feels like something's below 110. So how does it work? Basically, 120 means is pretty heavy, and 110 means is into the average how you can how you can swing, especially for elongated shape paddle. If you have something that around 110, that's very, very fast. And I have the 12.7 millimeter version, so which is very thin. That paddle when you drive is like bullet. It's like freaking bullet coming at you. So I'll say I'm gonna need to play a little bit more to maybe dial in, but that would be another good paddle for definitely for some bangers like me.
Yeah. Right on. All right. So we got, is it just 2 tournaments we have to cover for
Yeah,
games?
there's Atlanta and the PPA Atlanta.
Right.
So basically the ML, well, that's the first tournament from MLP after the big fiasco from MLP merging, demerging, merging again, demerging. So finally they are actually be able to secure the first tournament, which is in Atlanta. This time they have more changes. I don't know if it was a good change or it was a bad change. I felt there's more bad changes compared to the good changes. So let me go through it. So there's no more freezes. Still rally scoring, but no more freezes. And that this time it go 1 game to 25, and there's a change in at 13. So what I don't like is that it defeats a little bit the purpose of comeback. Because what we're seeing, most of the match I'm seeing, if you're leading by 3 to 5 points during that match, it's game over. You're not going to lose. There's maybe 1 or 2 team that actually came back from behind, but that's it. Like during the whole week of tournament, everyone that's leading by 3 to 4 points, game over. You're not going to win.
Yeah,
So,
I don't like that either. Like as much as I'm not like myself playing those type of things, unless it's like when we played in a couple of those, like as much as I'm not a big fan of rally scoring, I do like the freeze because you should be winning it on your serve. Like,
yeah,
and like you can, like if a team gets on a roll, or and like you said, gets up by 3, and then all of a sudden you're just trading points back and forth. There's no possible way for you to come back,
no,
right?
not at all.
And I don't think you should be able to lose a game on your serve.
Yeah, which happened a lot during that tournament. A lot of people lose by on their serve, like they shoot it wide or shoot it into the net. You lose the match because of it. Just like what?
Yeah, and that's like you at that point. I'm like, okay, why are you even bothering with rally? Let's just go back to regular play.
Mm-hmm.
Because and like that's the thing I liked. That's the thing I like about, and that's why I still prefer regular play over rally. It's because you can grind. Like a team could get up, and then you can grind them down, just breaking their serve, and eventually crawl your way back. Like you could be down 9-1 and still come back and win that game. Whereas in rally scoring, especially if there's no freeze,
oh, forget it.
There's no like you literally have to play lights out perfect.
Yep.
To come back from like down by that much of a deficit. So yeah, so for me, it's definitely I don't like that non-freeze thing.
Yeah, that was so weird. However, Dreambreaker is still at 21, but there's no freeze again, so you can. And I saw a couple of blowout. There is like some 21-9, 21-7. So I was like, oh my god, this is getting ridiculous. But anyway, that's I guess this is a new experiment from them. So we'll see how it goes. Another change that I didn't like that takes off a little bit of excitement this year is there's no trophy or champion, because what they are doing is like they will have 6 to 8 events, and they gotta be like they call regular seasons, and they'll everyone. Not every team is actually playing. So this the Seattle's Peony, which is the Ben Johns, and Utah Black Diamond, which you have Jay Delivier and Kelly Joe Smith. They don't even play. So not all the teams are playing. So which means like, why am I watching? If I like, for me, I like watching the Johns brothers. Well, they're not even playing. What's the point for me to watching it? And there's nothing on the line anyway for this tournament. So what's the point for me watching also? They also changed it a little bit. That kind of point system. There used to be when you win is a win, but now it's like a little bit like a kind of hockey soccer kind of thing. So if you win without Dreambreaker, you got 3 points. If you win during Dreambreaker, 2 points. But if you lose during Dreambreaker, you still got 1 point. So what happened is there's a team that was win undefeated, but all their matches they won during Dreambreaker. They're not even on the top. They're not even ranked number 1. They're ranked number 3 because some other team won during non-Dreambreaker. So you're like, what's going on?
I understand the reasoning for that scoring. As someone who's an avid hockey watcher, because right now the system the NHL has is garbage. The point system.
Yeah, agreed.
I still like a win's a win's, a loss a loss. But if you're going to give loser points, a win in what would be considered regulation, so like not going to Dreambreaker, should be worth more than if you're going to give a loser point, because at least then it makes the teams, if you're going to do a point system, at least then it makes the teams fight for that win in the Dreambreaker.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, but mind you, like, the moment you switch to a point system, you're better off doing a 3-2-1 than you are doing a 2 points for a win and a 1 point for the Dreambreaker loss.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like if you like, you either have to do one or the other. You either have to do a win as a win, and leave it at that, or the 3-2-1 system. Like right now, I don't like the way the NHL does it. I like the way the new PWHL does it, because they do that 3-2-1 system, and they do it. I think they do. Well, they have a few extra rules that are better than the NHL as well, but we won't get into that. But yeah, if you win in regulation, that should be worth more than if the other team forced you to a Dreambreaker and then you win in singles, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm not big on point system rankings, but that's why I would understand. Okay, well, this team couldn't get it. Like when you said the team went undefeated, but all their wins were in Dreambreakers. Whereas the other teams got ahead of them in points because they won regulation. I was like, well, I said, if you're gonna do a point system, that team couldn't get it done in regulation. So, and they won in Dreambreaker, that can kind of go either way. So maybe they don't deserve to be in first place because they won them all in that. But
yeah, maybe the other counter argument I can say is we'll see if it happens. Like let's say they continue to play. Let's say they continue to win. Will it happen to a team that went undefeated into the season and don't make it to the playoff because they didn't win in regulation, right? Then that'll be a counter argument. I will say, yeah. Like, well, you have them win everything, but they don't make the cut because they never won in regulation.
So how many teams are there, and how many teams make the playoffs?
So if I'm not mistaken, there's almost like 12 teams, and there's like maybe 6 or 8 teams that make it to the playoff. So I don't know.
And then, but you said they don't all play at every event. So is like, are certain teams in certain events, and then those teams miss another event to like make sure everyone has the same amount of games balanced out?
No, so basically they can play. Every team can play at every event. But what happened is right now, is some of the teams like the Seattle Pioneers and the Utah Black Diamond, because they say, oh, we're too far, so therefore we're not playing in this Atlanta tournament because we are too far. And then the next time I think they're playing in California, so Seattle and Utah say, oh, we'll play, and then probably Orlando Squeeze and the team in the East saying, oh, I'm not going to play. So it was a kind of a weird logic.
That's dumb. Like,
yeah, that's a weird logic. I don't know what's going on.
Because then because a point system is hard then, because say if a team plays, so say if there's 3 events, each team plays, for example, let's say a total of 12 games, so a max total of 36 points if you win undefeated in regulation, and one team only ends up getting 24 points because they went and won in Dreambreaker every single time. But then another team goes to only whatever amount of events, but they went undefeated and got more points, but they played less games. Like it's I don't understand that logic of not having to go to every event, but still doing a point system.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I don't know how it goes. Maybe they're gonna refine it and soon, but at this point, it's a little. It feels a little
Yeah.
odd how they do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I could see if you were doing say like an East and West event, like okay, all the West teams are playing in this event, all the East teams will play in this event,
Mhm.
and then they'll have like a combined event, but then everyone ends up playing the exact same amount of games, but you play teams in your own, you know, conference or whatever you want to call it, one more time more than you play a team from the other side. Like I could see
Yeah,
if they were doing it like that, like basically like if we like that means the CNPL is better organized than the MLP.
yeah. It
And
looks.
they're only in their second season. Everybody plays
I
the
know.
exact same amount of games, and it's a win loss thing. Now
It's
when it comes, and then you use the Dream Breaker stuff for tiebreaker stuff,
yeah. I
right?
guess
But I'm
because
just
we're Canadian, you eat more easygoing than the Americans.
I guess so. But I was just like, man, I was like, our Toronto guys have further to go to than and it's more expensive than Orlando to wherever the other tournaments
Well,
are.
the others that does not make sense. Like the PPA events right after the week after, right? And the Johns brothers are there anyway, so why?
Yeah, and for how much they're sponsored and they get paid, like I'm like what 4 more days in a hotel is really gonna kill you.
I don't think he cares. Like
Yeah,
if you look, there's a new article that the CNBC just posted out. The Ben John said that he make about $2 million just by playing, not including sponsorship this year. So you're like, well, clearly he can afford it, or anyone can afford him to play anyway. So, and especially he's making 2 million. So like, well, he
yeah.
can
And
do it.
if you're a team owner, I'm just like that's
That's
lazy.
dumb.
I was like, I'd be telling my team to go to every single damn tournament because I'm like, no, if I want this team to win, like the whole point of owning a team is to have, well, at least in my opinion, aside from owning a sports team being a tax write off and all that crap, which
Mm.
we won't get into the whole side of that with owning a sports team. But like for me, if I owned a sports team, it would be I want this team to win.
Oh yeah.
Right. So you're going to every event to get, try and rack up as many points as possible to get into the playoffs and then see what we can do from there type of thing. Like, but
Yeah,
yeah,
I don't know.
so
I don't
yeah,
know.
I don't understand how that's properly organized, but I like, and that just makes me like our CMPL that much better.
Agree. And then there's two weird controversy. Well, not well. Okay, one is controversy. The other one is another rule change. Apparently, the MLP took off the serve rule. So from PPA. So basically, like remember what's happening is that obviously PPA is doing their own thing. So what happened is on the serve rule for PPA, you cannot toss the ball up on your volley serve, right? So you have to let that you have to basically put your hand down below your waist before you serve, in order to say you cannot serve your ball above your waist, right? So that's what is PPA. But MLP took that rule off. So basically, in MLP, there's no height restriction. So you have Deco Bar serving at shoulder or chest level. He was banging all ball all serve. So you're like, what's going on with this
He's
serve
almost
roll?
he's not quite doing a tennis serve, but he's doing like an in between.
Yeah, he's like basically tossing up. Like he's basically serving like right like that, shoulder height. You're like, huh? What? What's going on? You're and then you have PPA enforcing that. Oh, I have to put it right below my waist. They're like, what's going on, people? Like,
Yeah,
put
like
your stuff together.
I understand it's competing brands, but guys, come to a consensus on stuff so that it's not like now like this is one of those things again where like with the same thing with like the refereeing and the line call situation where people won't take this seriously as a pro sport if you don't
Yeah,
have consistent rules across. Like it's a little bit like even if you take in hockey, like because hockey's pretty consistent between international and NHL aside from the size of the rink.
mm-hmm.
But other than that, like a two line pat, like an icing is an icing, an offside is an offside. Like goalie interference is goalie interference, unless it's playoffs, and then you can bowl over whoever the hell you want. But that's how NHL is. Um, but it's almost more like NBA and then FIBA, which is the international basketball. The insane differences between those. Whereas NBA, you're allowed 17 steps before you do a layup. Whereas FIBA is literally like, no, it's two or step and a half, whatever the hell it is, right? So I'm just like, but the problem is this isn't like, you know, pro USA and then all international. This is both of these pro levels in the USA can't even come to the same damn consensus. I'm like, hey, come on, guys. Like pick a lane and stick in it, both of you, because you're just gonna confuse the hell out of people, especially when you have pros playing in both.
Oh yeah, I know. And if they want to give it worldwide and have everyone compete worldwide, well, you're gonna need some sort of consensus. You cannot be saying I'm doing this, you're doing that, and then okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, one more controversy that was going on is Andrew Diascu's paddle didn't pass the tests, and one of them that he submitted. Apparently, they said they found some sticky substances on his paddle. So what was actually confirmed was pine tar that they find on his paddle. So we're like, okay.
Did he used to play baseball?
I don't know. maybe not. So for people who doesn't know pine tar, basically people use it for baseball bats, so to have a better grip on their on it. So we're like, what is going on? Some people are saying what happened is probably he dumped some Gatorade on his paddles to make it sticky or something like that. So we don't know, is it intentional or unintentional yet?
Between Gatorade and pine tar.
I know, but no one is denying, but no one also kind of came in and testified about it. So it was a little bit odd. And people were saying, "Oh, is it because of that he was winning against the Johns?" Anyway, we can go to big tangent about that. But he lost on the PPA against the Johns this time, so maybe he didn't put the pine tar on it.
Oh, geez. Next thing you know, someone's gonna be saying, "Oh yeah, Ben John just like juicing."
Anyway, so let's run to the next tournaments that just finished this weekend. The PPA Atlanta. So there's some surprise, but there's some not so surprise. So I put another week, another triple crowns for NLD Waters. So yeah, she's back, she's playing, and then unfortunately no one's close to her. She's winning again. So a little not disappointed, but at the same time, well, that's why she's the best, right? She's the best of the sport. A lot of ring delay. So I'm like when you're watching your Steam, oh man, like Pickleball TV, please, you have so much big production team, please make it better. So like what was happening during that Pickleball TV thing, like so during those ring delay and stuff like that, they first of all, when they go in there is a indoor facility that they move all the pros in. They went in, production was crappy, and there's no more line challenge system. So like, huh? What? You put everything outside and you couldn't bring in everything inside? What's going on? Like you should be planning this in advance. On top of that, there's so much glitches. Like oh man, let's say you're having the John playing, like it is a tight game, and then suddenly freaking feet is off. You're like, and then the next thing they show, oh, they won already. Like, what's going on, people? Like, what is going on? So anyway, the Pickleball TV was freaking horrendous during this weekend, and yeah, someone please record it on the phone and just post it, please. It will be better. Anyway, so a little bit of the other results. So the women's doubles, you have the Waters and Parental defeated the Kawamoto and Cooped, which is a new partnership. A little upset doing this bracket. So the Kawamoto and Cooped beat Anna Bright and Rachel Rothbacher in quarterfinals. So that was a quite a good upset. So congrats to them. Men's double, well, here's our upset. The Johns, yes, they beat Diascu and Tardio in quarterfinal, but they got beat by Federico Stasgrud and Matt Wright in semifinal. Pretty convincingly, 11-5, 11-3. Ouch, that was a clinic. So did you watch this match, Andrew?
No, I didn't get to see any of the highlights from this one, no.
So I did watch a little bit of it. So basically, Federico and Matt Wright was just attacking CJ, and for some reason, Colin was I don't know what's going on with Collins. He was probably not there, or maybe he was tired. He was not resetting properly any ball, so just gave all the opportunity for the opponent to light them up. And Ben, probably because he was tired, but playing the semifinal singles against McGoffin. It took them a while. The second game when I think 14-12, something like that. So and, it was a long match for him. So maybe he was tired. I would assume. But still, Matt Wright and Sashgurt went lights out. But unfortunately, they got beat by the two younglings, Fraser and JW Johnson. So, but still, congrats to them for a new partnership to make it to the finals. Mixed double, no surprise. Waters and Johns won against Anna Bright and Inatovich. Howard, there's maybe a little slight upset for some reason on the third game. That Waters and John caught pickle during that match, and Pickleball TV just went out during that 11-0 game. So you're like, what? Is it intentional or something? What happened in there? Yep. So no one saw what happened that 11-0. So it was so weird. Anyway, so for people, it's like, oh, why 11-0 third game? They still won. So in PPA the finals for doubles is best 3 out of 5. So you have to win 3 games instead of winning 2 games. So it's just for clarification. Men's singles, Ben Johns is back. He beat Federico again. And basically, every time Federico is playing against Ben Johns in the final, he loses. He like Federico can beat anyone else, but except Ben when during that final. But still, congrats to him. He made his 10 consecutive finals for his men's single, which is a very difficult feat. But still, I think Federico has to find something. He should not be stuck playing Ben against Ben John during that cat and mouse game. He needs to light him up instead of actually trying to play that cat and mouse, because you know that Ben John's gonna win against you every time.
Yeah,
just that's too bad. And then women's singles, you have the Annalie Waters that beat Paris Todd. Actually, a pretty tight game. So Annalie win 12-10, and then 10-12, 11-5. So Paris definitely gave her a run over that game. But the most interesting match is not this one. The most interesting match is Salome Device versus Leah Jensen. Have you saw that one? The bronze medal match.
I always saw the highlights of the Paris and Annalie.
No, you should watch the that one. That was so good, but not in the sense of match. So good for meme creating. So what is happening? Everyone knows Salome is a bad line caller, right? But apparently Leah Jensen is even worse. So like the first 2 points of the first game, Salome challenged 3 times in a row for line call, and in that match, there's line judge in every line. On top of that, Salome win 3 times on a bad call from Leah Jensen, consecutive challenge. You're like, what is going on? So that brings it this discussion that I was saying, like in the pro, like they're like most of the people are fine, but you will always have some people that try to cheat, try to make back calls to make advantage. If you don't have any referee, forget it. You're gonna lose matches every time because they make those line call. Especially, let's say is the match point 11-10. You hit the ball closer to the line. I have no line judge. I gotta call that ball out, right? There's no disadvantage for me to call that ball out, right?
Yeah.
But if you have a line judge or something, you have at least a little bit of enforcement, you can ask, hey ref, did you see it? And then you can ask the line judge, hey, the line judge, did you see that ball? If at least turn to your favor, it will put some pressure towards your opponent not to make bad calls, because you're gonna lose the point, right? But at this point, especially the pro scene, and now a lot of people are advocating they should be doing some sort of a penalty point system. So give you 1 or 2 freebies, but after that you get a warning or a technical warning. After that you lose a point, lose a game, just to kind of trying to deter bad line calling, especially if you're not sure, you shouldn't be calling that ball out, right?
No, yeah, it's like when in doubt, the ball is in type of thing. Is what it's supposed to be. But yeah,
yeah.
so
So anyway,
as someone who's been on the other, as someone who's pretty much been on the other side of those calls all the time, like where the other team is calling a ball out that I know is clearly in, and there's no ref, or even if there's only one official and it's in a spot where they don't see it, and at that point it's not the single official's job to be looking for that. It's very, very frustrating, that's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. So what's your next tournament, Andrew?
Next one is the season opener in Spruce Grove for me.
You're playing me on top of it, right?
No, we're in the 3-5. He wasn't high enough to go into the 4-0. So.
Oh, okay. I thought you were playing with oh no, it's the provincial that we're playing against.
Yeah, no, I'm playing. Yeah, every other tournament I'm in, I'm playing 4-0, like, because technically my rating is like a 3-8 or something like that, because I got screwed over by that guy not showing up at nationals, which dropped my rating down, because instead of being able to withdraw, I got given 11-0, 11-0, and then a 15-0.
Damn it.
Which killed my rate, which killed my rating. So which was
so annoying. That's
which was another gripe. I'm like, why didn't you just let me? Because I said I can just withdraw, and I said, is there someone in like in a different division that needs a partner? And there was a guy in the 4-0 division that needed a partner, and they're like, well, both of you need to be here to withdraw. I was like, but he hasn't shown up. I was like, so why can't you just let me withdraw and I'll go play with this other guy who needs a partner in the 4-0 division?
Yeah,
I said I can play 4-0. I'm playing 4-0 and 4-5 in mix.
That's annoying.
So that was national. So yeah, that's the first one we're going to. Then we got provincials, and then we're doing the Red Deer Open as well in August. Is our 3 for now. I don't know if we're going to be able to jam in anymore, just with my work schedule's a little bit wonky.
Are you still playing that team tournament at the hub? Or
no, we didn't find enough people to make a team, so we just didn't bother with it.
So we actually withdraw, because apparently there's not enough good team that was playing on that team tournament. So we also withdraw from playing that team tournament.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So because just it is what it is, and because we're playing a lot of different tournaments at the same time, I'm basically playing 3 tournaments in a row. So I'll be probably a lot. It'll be pretty tiring, unfortunately.
Yeah,
especially we're gonna play 4-5 in St. Albert members tournament. I was like, oh shit, this is not gonna be looking good. But anyway, me and Lester, we're just in for the challenge.
You've been playing against those guys in your little MLP thing, so you have lots of practice.
But like you play against Dewey and Saji, like, do you think I'm gonna win against them? I did not like during
you gotta play very very minimal unforced errors.
Like either this
I played against them as a team. Like, my partner wasn't ready to play at that level at the time, because he was like, oh, I've only been playing for like 4 months, but I want to play 4-5. And I'm like, dude, I just got to 4-0. I'm like, I don't know if we're ready for 4-5. And he's like, no, I practice with 4-5 guys all the time. I'm like, yeah, practice is different.
Practice and play is a different story.
But is playing in a tournament, man. I was like, if they notice a weakness, they're just gonna harp on it. And like his drives were fine, and like his finesse game was fine. But the moment they started dinking with him, I didn't touch the ball very much after that, because Dewey and Sanjay just as soon as they realized he couldn't dink at that level, it was just like, I think they beat us like 11-2, and the ones where I beat them is where like Sanjay would try to drive, and then I would do that drop like right at the net, I would just stifle it. And then of course he couldn't run up and he was like, "You're making me run." I was like, "Well, I got to make you work for something here." So right.
Yeah.
But
At least on the MLP, on our MLP league, Sanj is our team captain. So so probably
there you
I'll
go.
try.
Yeah.
Maybe I can steal some technique from him, and then
Steal his deceptive smash where he looks like he's going down the middle and he shoots it off to your left or his right, where it's that kind of like reverse shot.
yeah,
He's really good at that one.
So we'll start. We'll try that. But yeah, that one's just a fun tournament, so it'll be fun. Other than that, yeah, I'll play that Spruce Groove and then Provincial. What else I'm playing? I think that's it. That's it. I'm playing. The others I'll be just reffing because I'll try to get my certification. So anyway, so everyone that listening, please listen to our pod. We're so dedicated that we're actually recording during an Oilers game 7. So better listen to us.
Well, I'm a Leafs fan, so I have no skin in the game between the Oilers and the Ducks. So my team got knocked out a while ago. So now I do cheer for Canadian teams after that, with the exception of the Ottawa Senators, but I haven't had to worry about them for a couple years. So
oh no, they're not close.
No, they're not. Well, yeah, but yeah, I'll be cheering for whoever wins this game 7. I'm glad it went 7 just because it's been a very entertaining series. But I have no skin in the game, so I'm just enjoying it. Maybe part of because I live in Northern Alberta, there's a small part of me that might want the Canucks to win just to shut some of the annoying Oiler fans up. But other than that, like if the Oilers win, then I'm cheering for them because I love Zach Hyman. So
yeah, they'll be the only Canadian team left, right?
Yeah, and and the neat thing is if they win, then you get to reignite that Dallas Edmonton rivalry from back when back in the late '90s and early 2000s when they were playing each other all the time.
Yes, I agree. So anyway. Thanks, Andrew, sticking with me.
Oh, no worries. Thanks again, Victor. Thanks to everyone. So we will be. I don't know if we are able to. We'll try to get another podcast out next week after the CNPL. I will do after each day. I'm going to do like a quick 20-minute recap on my own, just kind of game by game. But we'll do like a full together recap podcast after that's over. And then we can go over what we took away from the tournament. But I'll do if for those of you who listened before Victor joined when I did the CNPL last year, I kind of did like a game by game analysis. I'll be doing that again, but I'll be doing it after each day. I'll just do like a quick little 20-minute video type of thing.
Nice.
And so and then depending on how they're streaming, because I don't know how busy you are next weekend, Victor, but
not too bad. I'll say just Saturday I have a little bit that members tournament from Spruce Grove, but other than that I should be pretty free.
Yeah, so depending on what they're doing for the games, if they're doing a dual stream or not, we'll text each other and figure out which stream each of us can watch, and then that way we're not over.
Is it going to be on YouTube, right?
Yes, they'll be on YouTube, the CNPL YouTube channel, and then if it's the same company, it's like IY MJ or something like that streaming service streams the other one. CNPL will definitely post it anyways what the two streams are for like court 1, court 2.
Yep.
And then we'll if I get to it first, I'll probably watch the main stream and then I'll let you handle the other one.
Yeah, sure, I can do that.
And then if you want, we can always flip-flop the second day. Once they get down to like the final couple of games, it's all on it ends up being all on the single stream anyway. So
yeah, agree.
All right. Well, thanks again, everyone. I guess once this comes out, it'll be Thursday. So have a good weekend. Get some CNPL watching in, and we'll see you guys in about a week.
All right. Thanks, everyone.